Yo, how's it going everyone? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Thera75 by Create Keys. Full disclosure, I did get sent this prototype for review, but all my opinions are my own. I'm not shilling for it or anything. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get straight into the review. Starting with the unboxing of this board, which I normally wouldn't cover in a review video, but this time it's pretty special. This package looks really nice, as you can see here. What you find in the box after opening it is the PE foam, PCB foam, case foam, screws, and gaskets, along with the board and PCB, of course. This keyboard is a exploded 75% layout with a screwless design, has a top right blocker with a badge, a bottom stainless steel weight, and a 6.5 degree typing angle. It's made of fully CNC and aluminum, which can be either anodized or E-coated depending on the color you choose. The color options are off-white, not exactly white, black, navy, and polycarbonate. Polycarbonate not being aluminum, of course. This board costs $260, which seems incredible for what you're getting in this board. But there's a small catch, which we'll get to later in the video. This board includes a very unique badge, like I mentioned, a top right corner badge. This badge is based off of the island of Thera. I'll show some pictures of the inspiration on screen. It has 3 color options, so you can also get the E off-white badge, black badge, and of course, the one shown here. It includes a bottom weight made of stainless steel with an option to upgrade to the PVD weight. I got sent the PVD weight, which in my opinion looks stunning. But of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. You can always stick to the normal stainless steel option. The back also has a little design, which again refers to the inspiration like I mentioned earlier, which I think personally looks really nice. Alright, let's get into the mounting system. Very exciting part, or one of the main features of this board, especially for the price tag. This is a plateless gasket mount. So this is strictly plateless, which contributes to a lot of things. One of them being the sound, the feel. It normally makes your keyboard much softer feeling, as there's no rigid plate to restrict the bounciness or flex of the keyboard. But of course that comes with a downside. Plateless can normally make a lot of vibrations, which may not feel too good. I'm not completely sure if this is exactly the use for this, but this keyboard also comes with a foam plate. Not really considered a plate, it's more just PCB foam, but it kind of acts a little bit like a plate, not exactly like one though. It can reduce a lot of those vibrations that you might get from a plateless design, especially since this PCB has flex cuts, similar to something like the Jelly Epoch, which this board seems to be very inspired by in some aspects. Taking a closer look at the PCB, like I said earlier, it has a few flex cuts, not just across the PCB alphas, but also on the tabs for the gaskets. These don't seem to do anything at all. I'm not sure why they included these, as they're going to be covered in gaskets anyways, so there's no use for this. Of course, since this is a plateless build, this is strictly a soldered PCB, so no hot swap for all of you guys. It's probably better that way, as hot swap with a plateless build can often lead to wobbly keys or just keys not being stable or secured at all. If you're wondering about Millmaxing this keyboard, it is possible, and with the foam plate, I do think they'll be stable enough not to pop out, but I still wouldn't recommend it just in case. And of course, when you take out your keycaps, all your switches are going to come with it. It's just a big annoyance. I'd just stick to soldering with this build. I have the prototype PCB, which caused some issues for me and some other content creators. These should be fixed in the final unit. For me, it works mostly fine. Only sometimes I get the issues happening, but this should be fixed in the final PCB. You shouldn't have to worry about it, and if so, I'm sure you'll get replacements. Oh my god, cat in the background. Also, as you see here, it looks like it's only a fixed layout for the prototype PCB, but there'll be much more options available in the final PCB, which I'll show on screen right here. Like I said earlier, this is a screwless design keyboard, which means the screws are inside of the case. This leads to a little bit of an issue or just annoyance. Basically, they interfere with switches, so once you solder the switches into your keyboard on the outer areas near the screws, while lifting up your top case, it will not be able to come up if you have your soldered switches in there, which is fine because you could always just take up the entire top configuration and do whatever you need to do with the case like that. But that does mean if you're trying to separate all 3 parts of the case, you will need to desolder some switches. What I did was I Millmaxed some of the switches so that I'm able to just separate it myself without having to desolder, but this of course isn't needed. You can still access the inside of the case without doing that. Alright, let's talk about the typing experience of this keyboard. I mentioned all these flex cuts and how it's gasket mount. You'd expect this to be a very bouncy and flexy keyboard, which luckily enough, this just does not disappoint. This thing flex like crazy, but not to the point where it's too much, or maybe it'll bottom out in the case, but it definitely might be a bit too much for some people. Personally, I don't find that as an issue at all. I really like the way this thing feels, and it doesn't cause any issues for me, and it probably shouldn't cause any issues for you at all. And if it is too soft for you, you can always put in the case foam, which will stop it from moving up and down nearly as much as before. What having the PCB flex so much does to the typing experience is makes it feel much softer, much more pleasant, without having a sharp, harsh bottom mount like on a tray mount or top mount, for example. Personally, I really love the way this thing feels. Just really pleasant. And for all you flex fiends out there, I think you'll really enjoy this. All right, let's talk about the sound. Except I'm not going to talk about the sound because that's pointless. So here's a sound test. Alright, so what do I think of the sound? Not that this matters at all, but I personally really love the sound of this keyboard. If you want to get a few more sound test comparisons with different keycaps, I have a video on that. It'll be right in the description. You can just click on that if you want to check it out. But why does it sound this way? Well, of course, it's because of the PE foam that this thing includes. It sounds similar to something like a jelly Epoch, which is something that PE foam is known for doing. It gives boards this like super creamy, poppy sound, which I personally love. If you already have a keyboard that has something like this, that has PE foam, like let's say you have a jelly Epoch, I'm not sure if this board will be for you because it's gonna probably sound very similar to that. Maybe it'll feel different, maybe you love the aesthetics and still want to get it. If so, then good for you. I'd say go get this board, even though you can't now, but unfortunately, because it's a soldered board, I can't really test without the PE foam without desoldering on the switches, which I might do in a later time, so maybe, just maybe look out for another stream or sound test with me doing that, but I'm lazy, so if it does happen, then you should probably be able to find it in the description of this video. Alright, so early in the video, I mentioned something about the price, which I said there's a catch to the price. So the board itself is $260, but it does not stop there because it has a fixed shipping of $55 for the board. So that brings it up to $315, which honestly still is a great price for this board. But it doesn't really stop there because getting extra badges, PCBs, also adds to shipping, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this board? Do I recommend this board to all of you people? Well, I mean, I'm sure you could tell by the rest of the video. I very strongly recommend this board. I don't know how it's gonna be on the aftermarket. By the time this video's up, I'm sure the group buy will be over, and there will not be an R2 of this keyboard. For $215 ship, this keyboard packs really good value. The aesthetics aren't for everyone, as the badge is kind of busy. I personally love it as it is very unique, and blue and purple are like my two favorite colors, honestly. Yes, it's not green, I know. Alright, I think that'll wrap up this video. If you enjoy my content and want to support me, be sure to check out my affiliate links in the description. If there's anything I missed or any questions that you have, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'll try to read as many as I can as long as they're actually reasonable. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching to the end. My upload schedule has been pretty bad as there is basically no schedule at all. I'm really sorry for that as it's been a mix of me being really busy, getting kicked out of my room, more info at my 100 subscriber video, and just me procrastinating, but we don't talk about that one. I might try and kind of low down on the editing for now at least while I have less time, just so I can start getting more videos out, but who knows, maybe I won't, maybe I will. I guess we'll see in the coming videos. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I hope you have a great day.